Hello, everyone, and welcome to Invitation to a Conversation. I'm your host, Pamela Bailey. I hope everyone had a blessed week. My guest today is Rebecca Randolph, the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity here in Brunswick, Georgia. Rebecca Randolph is a native of South Carolina and a graduate of the College of Charleston. She has worked for Habitat for Humanity for 4 years, beginning as the volunteer coordinator and director of development, and now the executive director as of July 1st, 2021. After college, she worked in advertising and later in medical sales. She enjoyed working directly with patients in her medical sales career. Her main focus was on amputation prevention among high-risk individuals with diabetes. She collaborated with an income-based medical facility and often made home visits for patients' assessment. Like Charleston, there is an abundance of substandard, unsafe structures where people are living right here in Brunswick. After learning some life lessons of her own nearly 5 years ago, God stepped in and planted her on solid ground here in Georgia. He provided her with a brand new start, and she began establishing relationships in Brunswick. Shortly after moving here, she was recommended for a position with Habitat, and the rest is history. Becca is a member of the Rotary Club of Brunswick, the junior lead of the Golden Isles, serves as an ambassador, serves as an ambassador for the Chamber of Commerce, serving as the vice chair and then chairwoman for 2 years, and is very active in her community. I support and stand by our vision that there is stability through shelter. Affordable housing is the foundation. I absolutely love this organization. We are not a giveaway program. All of our partner families have skin in the game, and we're all in it together. And now, welcome, Becca Randall. How you doing?
Hello, Miss Pamela. Thank you for having me. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. Great to see you.
Good to see you again. Now,
Thank you.
I read in your bio that you are from Charleston, South Carolina. How
Yes.
did you get to Brunswick, Georgia?
Well, after college, I think I had some, uh, a great career and things were going well. And, living on your own sometimes can be very difficult. And I think we face challenges. And I basically got the opportunity to make a new, fresh start. My father is from Brunswick. He grew up here when he was young, and somehow God planted me here, and I feel like I have been able to bloom where He's planted me. And the short version is I am able to make a new start here, and it's been wonderful since I moved here. I'm so grateful. I love this community. I love Glynn County. It's just a beautiful place to live, and I have a great network of friends and work colleagues, and it's been wonderful. So sometimes we just have to let the past go and embrace where we are, and I've been able to do that here, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
Glad to have you here in the Golden Isles for the work that
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you get involved with Habitat for Humanity?
Well, my dear friend Caroline, at the time, 5 years ago, she was working with a church, and the pastor happened to be on the Habitat for Humanity of Glynn County Board of Directors. And he went to her and said, do you know anyone that might be interested in the volunteer coordinator position at Habitat? And she thought of me immediately and called and said, hey, I've got a great opportunity here. I recommended you. I think you should go check it out. And I had not lived here very long, but I was definitely open to moving my career forward and finding something that I could hold on to. And what better opportunity than to work for a nonprofit, especially Habitat for Humanity. So I jumped on that opportunity, and the interview went great. I met the former executive director at the time and some board members, and I accepted the job, started as volunteer coordinator, and moved into director of development. And recently I have become the executive director, and I'm so excited about this journey.
What is your duties as executive director?
As executive director, I am responsible for overseeing the organization as a whole, the daily operations, the financials, the fundraising, the construction as it relates to the time frame and applicants of building homes, and making sure that our mission is heard in the community, making sure that that we're all, that I'm empowering my staff, volunteers, and our donors just to really feel passionately about this organization and to help them do their best work. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm going to learn a lot more in the future about all that it entails. But basically, I collaborate with our board of directors. We have a board of directors that is a governing board, and I handle and oversee equivalent to a CEO of a business, the daily operations of the organizations.
Is Habitat worldwide?
Yes, ma'am, it is. So we are a subordinate of Habitat for Humanity International, which serves globally.
What year was the first Habitat built here in the Golden Isles?
Our affiliate, which serves Glynn County, was established in 1989, and that is when our first house was built.
Well, how does Habitat help families?
Habitat for Humanity offers an opportunity for home ownership, and we believe that families can thrive, individuals can thrive through stability and shelter, affordable shelter, and that allows families to have more disposable income to have their basic needs met.
What's the requirements for a Habitat home?
You must be currently living or working in Glynn County. You need to be living in substandard, overcrowded, or unsafe housing. Also, if your payment is too much and exceeds what you're able to pay, that is another qualifying
criteria.
Yes, thank you. And we have a family selection committee that reviews all of our applications, and they go out, they meet the homeowner applicants, they tour their current living situation, and they want to set these families up for success. So they do look at the income. It doesn't matter exactly how they can be on disability. They can be employed, they can be unemployed. It has to be traceable, documentable income. So whatever that looks like, and every situation is different. And there is an income requirement. It's around 60% of the median income of Glynn County. And it does vary by the size of the family as to what that number actually is. But it's not a specific number. In every situation, we look at the whole situation and make sure that it's a good fit. We want to set these families up for success so that they can go on about their life.
How is each home funded before it is built?
Our organization, it relies heavily on donors, grants, and fundraisers. We also have our Restore, which accepts used furniture, household items, decorations, things like that. We don't accept clothing, but we do accept things for the house. And we have a wonderful staff over there. They're so dedicated to this mission and to this organization. But it is our year-round fundraiser. And that's where the money comes from to build the house. Also, as we continue to build, because our homeowners have a mortgage with us, we recycle those mortgage payments back into our construction fund to keep moving our mission forward.
So what somebody's mortgage helps pay another home to be built.
Yes, ma'am.
Who decides on the location for a home?
That is part of my job. So I have driven down every road in this town, I'm sure, and I feel like it's very important that we select properties that I would feel comfortable with, that families would feel safe and comfortable living, and that are close to grocery stores, amenities, schools. You know, transportation can be an issue sometimes, but we want to find safe, decent areas for our safe, decent homes to be built. And again, sometimes the lots already exist if a homeowner is coming to us with a home that's been condemned, or if it's substandard, or if they do qualify for our program and they already have a lot, we're able to sometimes use the existing lot to build their home.
Are Habitat homes built in the city, county, and rural communities?
Yes, ma'am, they are, as long as they're within Glynn County.
Are there Habitat homes on St. Simon's Island and Jekyll Island?
There are no homes on Jekyll Island, but there are 2 homes on St. Simon's Island.
And how many years of ownership is it? 15 to 30?
Well, they can own it forever. Hopefully that's the goal, but their mortgage right now is set up as a 25-year mortgage.
What is the maximum price range, interest rate, and is there property tax?
The cost of homes, of the construction of the home, has gone up significantly recently. It used to be about $75,000, but it has gone up to about 90 or so, and up from there with the spike in construction prices because of the pandemic. But I hope that is temporary. But the cost now, we are looking at about $90,000 per house. That can change a little bit depending on the size of the home and some other factors. But volunteers help keep those costs down. And yes, they do pay taxes. So we collect escrow from them, so their taxes and insurance every month, and we pay that for the homeowner annually, and they pay into our tax system.
Is there property tax?
There is property tax, yes, ma'am. So that's part of their escrow, and we pay that from what they've paid each month. We pay that for them annually. And in 2019, I believe we paid, our homeowners paid $38,000 in taxes. So they become individuals that may be renting, but now they're tax paying citizens of our community, and they're putting into the social and financial responsibility of our community.
So it's not an individual property tax, it's a collective of all the homes.
It is their individual tax, yes. So we collect from each homeowner and pay that annually. But every Habitat homeowner and property is required to pay taxes. If city taxes, if they're only in the city, and then, or I'm sorry, city and county if they're in the city, and just county if they are outside the city lines. But yes, ma'am, they do pay taxes like any other homeowner, yes.
And their interest rate?
Oh, that is where our mission comes into play, because that is, we offer a 0% interest rate on only the cost of construction. So even if it appraises for more than it costs us to build it, which it usually does, we only charge them for the cost of construction. And they do have equity immediately a lot of times. So say a house costs $90,000, but the appraiser says, oh, it's worth $120,000. And it may be, but to protect our volunteers, to protect our donors, and to protect our homeowners, we do put a second mortgage on the value, on the appraised value. But once they pay off their mortgage, they are not obligated to pay that second mortgage. It is just to help prevent anyone from flipping the house or turning it around and selling it, which we've never had an issue with in the past. It's just a protection that we take.
Are homes built by volunteers and paid laborers?
Yes, ma'am, they are. So we have dedicated volunteers that are there regularly, and we have groups of volunteers that, employees that work together, church groups, and any group that wants to volunteer with us, and either on a one-time event or on a day of giving. And then, so yes, so we do have volunteers. They handle the framing, the trusses, a lot of the, the painting, hardy plank siding. They do a lot of hands-on work that otherwise would cost us a lot more money with the labor costs. So we do have some things that are professionally subcontracted, such as the AC, air conditioning, the HVAC, plumbing, electrical, things like that. That we want to make sure that those are being done properly.
And what capacity does the intended owner do in helping to build the home?
Well, part of the agreement and contract, when we approve a homeowner after they've gone through the application process, is that they are required 200 hours of what we call sweat equity, and that is their hands-on, building right next to other Habitat homeowners and other volunteers. So they have skin in the game. They are expected to be there and to help build their own house and the houses of other future Habitat homeowner families. So we require that. We require a deposit that covers their first year of escrow, and we also require them to take a financial literacy class so that they can get their finances in order. And I will be implementing a basic homeowner skills class at some point in the future, because I think it's really important. A lot of these homeowners are first-time homeowners, and it's different than renting, and maintenance can be overlooked sometimes. And I think it's really important that they feel empowered, that they have the resources and they know what to do if there's, with the vent dryer duct, or, changing the air filters, basic things like that, which most people know, but I think I want them to have all the information they can to be successful in our program.
Is there a specific time frame to begin and complete a home?
Yes, it's usually about 5 months from when we break ground to when we go to closing.
What is the maximum number of bedrooms that a Habitat home can be built for?
Currently, it's 4 bedrooms is the maximum that we've built.
And what are the amenities in a Habitat home?
Well, we have every home is equipped with a washer and dryer, a dishwasher, a refrigerator, and a range.
What happens if a Habitat is being built and the intended owner decides he or she is not interested in the program anymore?
Well, they can back out of it, or, a situation may change where they are no longer qualified, depending on when they applied and when their time has come to begin the construction process. So we do go back and visit each, we interview them again and say, are we still in the same spot, and is the situation the same? Are we ready to move forward? So we do that to make sure that we are prepared to take on that commitment from them. And if they decide to walk away, that's their decision. If we've already started the project, we could see if we don't build until we have the qualifying family. So if either it would be a family of a similar size, or the next family on the list if they opted to, go ahead and take this property that's under construction.
If the Habitat owner becomes deceased, can a dependent or other family member become the homeowner?
We strongly recommend that all of our homeowners create a will. When we go to closing, I think it's really important. We do discuss that with our attorney. So, we encourage them to set up a will so that we know where this estate is going, whether it's going to be deeded back to Habitat, or if you want it to go to your children, for them to take over the mortgage. So I think it's very, very important that families understand that they need to create that will so that we know exactly who's responsible for it if that is the case, if something should happen.
Can a person with no children get a Habitat home?
Yes, ma'am. If they meet our qualifications, yes.
Has the exterior design of a Habitat home changed?
Well, we have changed our quality of material. So we used to use a vinyl siding. We now use only hardy plank siding. It's a lot more durable. It lasts longer. It's better for the weather and winds that we get here, and it's easier to handle, and it looks nicer. But yes, we typically have a shotgun style and a ranch style, and
Oh, that was my next question. Will they all look, because you can ride through Brunswick and tell which home is a Habitat home. I'm not saying that's good and I'm not saying that bad, but they just stand out because of the design and the material that they use.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said you had the ranch style and what other type?
And the shotgun style. So that's the narrower, longer houses.
Okay.
So it's basically the ranch style turned on its side for a narrower lot.
Go. Oh, you finish?
Well, I was just going to say that we do, and it's in our mission statement too, that we provide safe, decent, affordable homes, and they're not extravagant, but they're simple and they meet the need of our families. And the one we're working on right now is just so beautiful. It's it just really looks nice, and I'm excited. So, and we'll talk about the neighborhood coming up, I'm sure, but we have some ideas there to give it maybe a little bit more character without going over the top.
Can a Habitat home be rented out or be used as an Airbnb?
No, ma'am.
Can a Habitat home go in foreclosure?
Yes, it can. Yes. Georgia law requires, after 120 days of non-payment, we can go into foreclosure with the homeowner. So we will send out letters each month if they're late, and let them know that, sometimes we try to work with them, but typically after 90 days, it gets pretty serious, and we have to make that decision. To date, we have only had 3 foreclosures ever, which is incredibly low because we're building our 88th house right now. We've had more than 50% of our homeowners pay off their mortgage completely. That's 59% of the homes that we built. So they are homeowners, free and clear, no mortgage, all equity. That is where the generational, for those that do have children, that's where the impact is. And it's just so great to see, since we've been around for 32 years, I've met homeowners that I'm friends with that are in my community. When I go to community events, that were raised in a Habitat home, and it's so great to see them succeed. And I do feel like Habitat has a lot to do with that, because they're not worried about where they're going to live or moving around from place to place, or being in a situation that could, where their life, the trajectory may have been a little different. So yes.
That's an excellent record. Can a homeowner decide after some years after moving in the home that they decide to move out of the program and go into a regular home sector?
Yes, absolutely. They can. They can decide that their life circumstances may change. and that is okay. If they decide to move on, though, they will owe the complete, the appraised value. So they will owe the first and second mortgage if they decide to sell the home.
And you already answered that question. Is there 89 Habitat homes? Now, is there a waiting list of names for Habitat, and is it a first come, first served process?
There is a waiting list. COVID really slowed things down. We were not able to build for about a year. We did some projects, we did a fence and some other things, but we weren't able to do new construction during that year. So we paused all full applications and we allowed a pre-application, and our family selection committee is actively working on that to get back to these applicants in the order that they were received, to invite them back to complete a full application, which will then be reviewed, and then they'll move on and continue this process until we get back to opening up full applications. And we do select the families before we build, as I mentioned before.
And you mentioned the Habitat store. Tell me about a little bit about the store and how it provides for the Habitat homes.
Okay, well, this is the Habitat Restore, and we do offer pickup. So if, if anyone has anything to donate, but we do not take clothing, but we take household items, construction items, decoration, furniture, things like that, and we do resell it. And those proceeds go to, first of all, they cover all of our overhead. So it covers any paid staff that is working for our affiliate. It covers that. It covers the restore and administrative building. It covers all of those expenses, and the remainder of the proceeds from the restore go into our building admissions account. So it's our year-round fundraiser. And because the restore provides all of our overhead coverage, when you donate to Habitat for Humanity of Glynn County specifically, 100% of your donation goes directly to our mission to fund the construction of the next house.
Some Habitat has a subdivision that does repairs for veterans. Who chooses to have that particular program in Habitat? And is this something that you're considering for Brunswick area?
Well, it is something I would really like to look into. I know that there are some affiliates that have specific veteran programs, and now that I've lived here for a little while, I've learned that we have a lot of veterans here, and there may be an opportunity for that, especially with the repair. Some people need repairs. But to speak directly to veterans, we don't have a specific veteran program, and we actually don't even have a repair program either. And that is something I would like to explore. That's kind of a gray area sometimes, because sometimes it requires professionals, licensed contractors, subcontractors to do the kind of work that is asked of us. But I think that it's something I would like to look into down the road to see, can we offer a simple repair program, and what does that look like? Because right now we only do new construction. And again, we encourage veterans or anyone else to apply if they qualify for our program.
Is it possible for Habitat for Humanity to partner with Brunswick Housing Authority to help residents to become homeowners?
Well, I think we partner with a lot of people, and as far as a specific partnership, we do build relationships and build awareness with our community partners. And Brunswick Housing Authority, we've had many families come from living in public housing under Brunswick Housing Authority straight into our program. So, it really just depends. And I think bringing awareness to our program, encouraging people, if you want, apply. If this is something that you feel like it's something that you want, and that home ownership is something that's valuable to you, and they can see the value in it, then a lot of people just don't apply. They think it might take too long, or they may not get it accepted. And I just say to anyone, take the first step, apply for the program, and if you meet the qualifications, it's a really wonderful program, and it's available to, depending on the situation, and it could be overcrowded living conditions, even in Brunswick Housing Authority. So depending on their current conditions, yes, we can work with them, and we can collaborate to, bring awareness to the residents there.
It could be a good economic situation too. We could get some residents to help out with the building of the homes, and get them some kind of certification, those who are interested in that particular type of skill.
That would be great. I would love to have, I love to have different groups of individuals come volunteer with us. And, it's not skilled labor what we're doing. And we teach our volunteers, how to hammer a nail properly. We instruct how to paint properly, things that may come easier to some than others, but it's really a fun, engaging experience. And it really does mean a lot to the homeowner, especially when they see people from their community coming out to help build their own home. And I think it would bring great awareness to anyone living in public housing, or any kind of rental situation.
You mentioned this before. What percentage of homeowners are still living in Habitat housing?
I don't know I don't know the exact percentage, because some may have passed that have paid off their mortgage, and we don't necessarily keep up with them as much anymore. We've been here for 32 years, so as I can't answer specifically how many are still in their homes, but given that we've only had 3 foreclosures, and that 51 of them have paid off their mortgage completely, almost 60% of our current mortgage holders, I would say a lot of them have held on to their homes, and have either passed them on to family members, or continue to be the gathering place at holidays. And that is my hope. And I think we see more of that than people moving out of their Habitat home.
Now we're getting ready to get to something real exciting. Tell me about the new community of Habitat homes on 6th Street, which is right down the street from Willie Weenie Wagon.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So that is technically in Glynn County, but it is centrally located. It's close to the College of Coastal Georgia. It's close to Brunswick High School, close to a Walmart neighborhood market, close to the Boys and Girls Club. It is just such a great location. So we found this 4-acre tract of land, and it wasn't developed at all, but we are in the clearing stages of it. I didn't bring the big model, but I do have this picture, and I'm gonna just bring it very close. If you can see this U-shaped neighborhood there.
That horse-shaped symbol?
Yes, ma'am.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
There's 15 houses.
That is awesome.
Yes. So
that is awesome.
This is a green space that will be shared by the community, and they will all own their own individual lots and homes. This will be a shared space, and this is going to be a one-way road. So it'll keep the traffic limited as the children cross the street. And I'm very excited about it. So I've driven by there, just to see the progress. We did have a groundbreaking there several months ago. And it's really exciting to see where the road's going in. So they put the water and sewer connections in. We just have to get that road in, and I'm excited to start building those houses.
What are they going to use that green space for?
that's just going to be a play area for the kids. It's going to be a communal space that they can use however they want.
For grilling or whatever they want to do.
Sure. And each of these lots are at least 6,000 square feet. So they're not small lots either. So they'll have their own yard if they choose to grill, with just the family, or they can, they can be in a true community environment and have fellowship there in that green space. And
I want you to call me up when the first home is completed.
I will.
And I want to see, I love looking at homes and designs. It gives me ideas of what I want to do with my home.
Okay.
So I would love to see the inside.
Well, I would love to see you sooner than that and let you come volunteer at whatever.
Well, okay. Okay.
But one thing at a time, I understand.
Yeah.
And also, as far as the designs, they may stay similar, in the simplicity of our safety homes. We don't want to get too extravagant because, again, these homeowners are paying a mortgage. They're 0% interest mortgage, but they do, pay for the construction costs that go into building the home. So we do want to add a little bit more character, but it's got, it's going to be reasonable and, bring some life to the neighborhood and as far as the visual aspects. But I think there are ways to do that are financially friendly. So
I'm excited.
To keep that in mind.
I'm excited. It's homes being built all across Brunswick and Glynn County.
Yes. I want to say one more thing. This neighborhood is going to be called Century Place. And the reason for that is because it will include our 100th home in the neighborhood.
Oh, so, that's exciting. Okay.
So I just wanted to point that out. So
okay. We are down to the end of our conversation, Ms. Randall. What is your favorite scripture, phrase, or testimony that keeps you grounded every day?
There are so many things that I want to say. I would just say, be yourself. Do not be afraid to push through fears and trust that you don't have to carry all the burdens alone, and that God is a gentleman and will and he knocks, and we can give our burdens over, and he does use us if we're willing in a way that can bring true joy to our lives. So that is how I truly feel, and I think people should be who they are, and we are all unique and beautiful and created by a perfect God. And I'm going to share my favorite Bible verse here because you asked for that too. So we all have hard times throughout life. They come and go, and that's just part of our life journey. But I love the quote. It says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come." And it's hard to see that sometimes, but it's so true. And sometimes we just need to lighten up a little bit and get excited about our time here. And I'm just really grateful for your time today, Miss Bailey. I just really enjoy talking to you. I always enjoy seeing you out in the community, and Habitat is a passion of mine. And if anyone needs information, they can visit our website at hfhglynn.org, or they can call us. We have a Facebook page, and we have our Hunt Ball event also taking place in October. That's our annual fundraiser. So if you want information about that, let me know.
I think I want to attend this year, and I think that we're going to stay in communications.
Okay,
I like you.
Thank you. I like you too, and I appreciate your time. It's very sweet, and I like what you're doing to let the community know with these interviews. I think it's very important, and I think that you're really bringing light to help clarify, because a lot of people don't understand what the mission is, and it's so nice to have this opportunity to make it available to people when they want to learn more about habitat.
Thank you. And Monday will be 1 year anniversary that I've been doing these conversations. And I just don't know where the time went. But
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I enjoy talking to people because I live every day to learn something new. And by talking to various people, I get to learn something new all the time.
That's right.
So before we leave, what wisdom would you like people to know that we haven't talked about habitat to get them to sign up? Because a lot of people can be impatient and they think if they're going to get something that it should be, if they apply today, it's going to come within, next week or that month. But just let them know how long is the for one thing, let them know what is the process of applying until you actually do the building, and what would you like to leave the viewing audience to know?
I would say that if you are interested in applying, or if you are interested in becoming a homeowner, apply at our location. It's 1919 Glynn Avenue in Linear Plaza in Brunswick. Our admin offices are inside of the Restore, and you're welcome to talk to myself or our administrative manager, Ms. Tashanta, and she will guide you through it. And it could be 6 months to 2 years. It really just depends on where we are in the building phase, in construction, what our wait list looks like at the time. But the first step is putting the application in. And as soon as you do that, then the process has started, and you can, relax in knowing that you've done your part, at least to get it started. And it just depends. Some have taken shorter than that, some longer, but I know the homeowner now has been very patient because we had to stop because of COVID, and now her house is almost complete. So some things are worth the wait. So if you're interested, please apply with us. And also, it's not a giveaway program, but we want families and individuals to be independent. We want them to have the financial freedom and shelter to have a better life.
Well, the saying says, good things happen to those who wait. Well,
right.
Thank you for accepting my invitation to a conversation.
Yes,
I welcome all those who will view this conversation to subscribe to my YouTube channel or to my Facebook page. And my next conversation will be with Roderick Davis. Well, thank you all, and continue to have a blessed weekend, and I'll see you soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ms. Bailey.